everyone, and welcome to my sewing room. I know it's been a long time, but I've had a lot of crazy stuff going on in my life right now. But we're going to go back into PE design software, so don't go away. Okay, so first I want to tell you about the quilt show. Myself, my friend Connie, and Judy went to Paducah, Kentucky, and we saw the quilt show. We had such a good time. It was so crowded. So this is a little video that I shot in like the second day. The second day was busier. There was people everywhere. And so I thought it would be kind of fun just to show you how crowded it was. And that's my friend Judy in there. She's just kind of saying hello as we're going, as I'm turning the camera around in a circle. But there were vendors. They had a huge tent with all sorts of fabrics and stuff in it. I got a little crazy and I probably bought way too much fabric, but you know, that's why you go to those kind of things. We stopped on the way. We looked it up on Google Maps and we found all sorts of other little quilt shops, and we found some places that were out of the way in the middle of nowhere that were really fun that we were able to buy fabric at. So we just had a really, really good time. We also went to the museum, and the museum had a lot of different kinds of quilts in it as well. They were more like what I would call art pieces. It wouldn't be something that you would put on your bed. It was definitely almost like going to an art museum that was made of fabric arts instead of actually looking at quilts. But it was still a really fun experience, and we had a really good time. And then I came back from the trip and I moved. And as you can see, this is my new sewing room. It's still a little bit cluttered. There's still stuff all over the place, as you can see, but I will get it kind of set up and get things back up on the walls, and it'll start to look a little bit nicer. But I definitely have room to spread out, and I'm really excited about my new apartment. So I hope that wasn't boring. Listening about my last 3 or 4 weeks has been a little bit crazy here. But I do want to go into PE Design 11. I did have a customer that sent me a question about doing applique, and then after you created the applique with your letters, how to sort them so they do them all at once instead of one at a time. So I thought maybe I would address that and maybe add a little bit more to your PE design knowledge. So let's go to the computer and get started with that. Going on with this. Okay, so I've opened up PE Design 11, Layout and Editing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just write my name. So we're going to go to Text and A. And if I'm going to make an applique, I want to find some letters that are kind of bold. So first, let's just click on the screen like this. And then I'm going to write all in caps and push enter. And then I'm going to, because it's an applique, I want to make it pretty big. Let's see. Let's go up here to here and let's see. Design settings. I have this by 6 1/4 by 10 1/4. That's a pretty good size hoop. So let's just leave it at that one there. All right. So now let's find some letters that work a little bit better. So I'm going to go up here across the top here. I'm going to click on the down arrow. And one of the really good things about PE Design 11 is once you've typed in a word, it will show you that word in the letter font that you're choosing. So you have a good idea of which one you're doing. And this one right here, the number 7 block is pretty good. So let's do that one. Yeah, I like that one. I think that would make it good. And we'll pull it like this. And then I'm going to show you something else while we're doing this. If I click the down arrow again and I go all the way down, I'm going to pull this all the way down past the brothers to the TTs. Those are all 2-type fonts. And I choose a 2-type font. This one right here that's called Cascadia Mono. And I choose that one. Oh, that one didn't work. I don't know why the E didn't come out. Let's try something else. Sometimes true type fonts don't translate very well. I don't want that one. It doesn't, it's not a bold block. Let's see. Let's try this Cooper. Okay, let's do this one. This one actually looks pretty good. So that's a true type font. So sometimes you have to just keep looking till you find the right one. But if you have a true type font, up here in this box up here that says has the font that you chose and the size, and it says font filters. Next to it says true type font settings, and if you click on that, you can do ultra bold, condensed, ultra bold. This says Western and Central European. I honestly don't even know what the difference in that is. But you can try some different bolds. This one's already bold, but see, that one looks a little bit different that way, like that. And it only works in true type fonts. So I actually like it better. Let's see what condensed ultra bold looks like. Oh yeah, that kind of makes it go to a slant. Okay, so I'm going to go back up to the ultra bold because I thought that was the best one for an applique. Okay, so now this is an applique. So, I mean, now we're going to make it into an applique. Sorry. Anyway, so first thing I need to do to create this into an applique is, I mean, yes, I could just go up here while it's selected and come up here and say all I want to do is make a running stitch around it and then say do not sew, and that would create a running stitch. But there's a lot easier way to do this. So I am going to put that back to the way it was, back to a satin stitch. First thing I'm going to do is I have to create this and make it into shapes instead of alphabets because it won't let me make it into an applique the way it is. So what I want to do is I want to convert this to an outline. So I'm going to click on it, and now a long time ago when it was like version 6 or 7, you would have to then turn it in, add the fill back to it. All it does nowadays, it does it so instantly you can't even really see the difference, except for that. Let me go home and zoom in really close. Now you can see that my satin stitch is going across like this instead of following around because it's reading it as a shape. Obviously this would not sew out good anymore because I've got these really long satin stitches in here. But that's okay because we're reading it as a shape right now. So I'm going to come back and get my selector tool. And now what I want to do is I want to ungroup it. See the blue dotted line around it? That means it's all grouped together. So I want to ungroup these so that I can turn them into an applique all at once. Let me see. I'm going to try something. While it's all grouped, let me see if I hit Applique Wizard. When you hit Applique Wizard, it's saying, do you want an applique material, an applique position? We want that part. We want it to do a covering stitch, but we don't want it to do another one afterwards. So we just want one that's going to cover it up, and we want that to be a zigzag stitch that's going to go all the way around it. This V stitch is going to tack it down. This one's going to do a zigzag stitch, and I want the width to be a little wider than the default. Because I just always feel like the little thin one doesn't do the job. And then say OK. It actually worked. Oh, this is too wide. Let's see. Let's hit undo. And then let's do it again. Applique Wizard. So what I was saying before was you could ungroup it and do them one at a time, but it actually did a pretty good job doing it all at once. So I'm just going to do it like that. Let's see. Let's make that back. Wow. How did I do that? Undo. These letters are so bold, which I kind of like, but the satin stitch in the center is really filling that out. So I'm going to undo again. I'm going to hit Applique Wizard. Actually, I'm going to cancel this. The more I look at it, the more I realize that when I make these into an applique, it literally makes them too close together. So I am going to right click and ungroup this. So now it's going to read them all separately, and I can, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the M through the Y, and I'm going to M, Shift. Well, it doesn't want to select them all. That's interesting. So the reason I'm doing this is because there's just too many letters on here for me to do it in a video, but you can do it on whatever you want to do. I'm going to make these a little bigger, and then I'm going to take the E and move it over here. Take the S and put it like right there. The kerning doesn't work anymore because they're not letters anymore, they're shapes. So I really have to just move them to wherever I want them to be. And I have my grid up here so I can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I have about 4 squares between each one, so that looks pretty good. So let's just select all by clicking and dragging so they're all selected. And then let's go to Applique Wizard, and let's make this about 16. And say OK and see what we get. That looks pretty good. I like it. And I just made that into an applique. Now if I didn't like the way the S works out here, I could, let's just hit the zoom button, get up close, and I could maybe move it just a little bit this way. Yeah, that's not good. Let's undo that. I'm going to try something else. Let's see if I select it. I don't know why it grouped back up again. I'm going to ungroup it. Okay. I'm going to select the S, and I'm going to go over here to my sewing attributes and see right here where it says sharp corners. Let's see what happens if I change it. So it takes off those sharp corners right there on the S. Now the bad news is that the tack down is underneath there. So what I could do is I could just hit this, zoom in really close, change it to this one, and then select the part underneath here and just kind of drag it up there. Where the heck is that at? Okay, I'm having trouble getting a hold of this. It doesn't want to. I'm going to hit tab. Okay. You guys are watching me struggle here. So I want to change the S and I want to change that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to where the S is. And over here on the top, if I hit this button right here, it will zoom in on my letters so I can see them better, to see which one. And this is the one I want to select, this first one. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say select objects. So now that first part is selected. And so then if I hit home, zoom in, and then change it to this, then I can see. I still need to zoom in closer. There's that little sucker that I'm trying to get out of the way there. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to select this one, right click, select objects. And I'm going to move this one. There we go. Now those are underneath the stitches where I want them to be so that they won't be hidden. I could mess with it some more. So that's kind of the way that you would do that. So let's go home, zoom all, see what we've got. So I've created an applique with all of these. Now, so what is this doing here? It is in this part right here. I'm going to stretch this out a little bit. It's doing first the R position, then the R tack down, then the R satin stitch. And that would be great if I wanted each ROSE to be different colored fabrics. And that's the way I might want to do it. But let's say I wanted to do them all the same color fabric. I wanted to lay it down and have it sew the tack down and then have me trim it. And then sew, I'm going to sew the position. Then I'll lay my piece of fabric down on top of it, or my piece of glitter vinyl or whatever I want to use. And then have it tack it down. And I'll take it off, the hoop off, and I'll sew, I'll cut it away, and then I'll have the satin stitch all at once. So the way, what you need to do at that, if you wanted to do that, is you need to hit this part right here, and then see it says show by color order, like this. And then I need to hit this one right here. It's the third one over. It's actually a sorting order. So I'm going to click on it. And now, see, it's going to do all of the tack down at once. And then it's going to do the other ones next. And if I hit this again and say, let's see, show by color. Now look at it. It just kind of put it all together. Put all these little plus signs next to it. If I hit the plus sign, it opens it up so that I can see each one separately. But if I hit the minus sign, it puts them back together again so you can see. So now it's going to do all of the position, all of the tack down, all of the satin stitch all at once. So even as confusing as that was watching me figure things out, I think I kind of showed you exactly how to make this do what you wanted it to do, to create your own appliques with your letters and everything. It's a little bit different process than creating an applique with a shape, but I hope that you found that helpful. So I hope that was helpful. I always try and address a lot of different things about PE Design 11 as much as I can. And I also try and do some things, of course, with the Stellaire sewing machine. I have not been able to do a whole lot with the new Avenir in the store simply because I don't have one and I don't have a friend who has one. And it's kind of hard to go to the store to get the videos done. But I am trying to work that out with my boss and see if I can do a few more things with the Avenir. But in the meantime, if you've got questions about your Luminaire, your Solaris, your Stellaire, your Altair or Meridian, those are all the ones that I try and do different videos on and do different things. And I'm always trying to think of something new that I can do, a new project or something. So go ahead and ask me questions and I'll try and address it. In the meantime, I really appreciate it if you like and you subscribe, and I hope that you're enjoying my videos, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.